Report brought to you by Pfizer.
Today's countdown to the royal wedding is brought to you by Pfizer.
And now a CBS Sports Update brought to you by Pfizer.
Meet the Press Data Download brought to you by Pfizer.
This portion of CBS This Morning sponsored by Pfizer.
On how to find the hidden sugars in the American family diet. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Making a difference. Brought to you by Pfizer.
CNN Tonight. Brought to you by Pfizer. Early Start. Brought to you by Pfizer. Friday night on Aaron Burnett Out Front. Brought to you by Pfizer.
This Week with George Stephanopoulos is brought to you by Pfizer.
Good Morning America is brought to you by Pfizer.
CBS Health Watch sponsored by Pfizer.
Anderson Cooper 360. Brought to you by Pfizer.
ABC News Nightline. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Authoritarians posing as physicians are demanding that certain classes of Americans must be prohibited from traveling within their own country.
The administration missed a big opportunity this week to tell the American people that we're going to mandate vaccination for air travel in the United States.
But it's the addiction numbers that are the worst. This year, for the first time ever, the number of overdose deaths in the United States passed 100,000. That's up 30% from just last year. It's up more than 100% since 2015. At this point, more Americans are dying from drug ODs than are dying from car crashes and gun deaths combined. An overdose is the final chapter in the world's saddest story, many years of suffering and torment. And our lunatic COVID policies have caused so much more of this. What people like Tony Fauci will never acknowledge is that addiction is far worse than the coronavirus. Addiction doesn't just kill you, although of course it does. Addiction degrades you and destroys the people around you, the very people you love the most. Any sane person would rather die of COVID tonight than spend the next decade addicted to drugs and alcohol. Ask anyone who has been. Speaking of the young, last month the New York Post published photographs of masked schoolchildren, little kids, forced to eat on the ground outside in freezing temperatures. You're seeing them on your screen right now. What do you make of that? Well, here's what Joe Biden's spokeswoman made of it. She was fine with it. She approved.
These are steps that schools are taking to keep kids safe. And I think the vast majority of parents appreciate that. Obviously, we want to get to a point where we're turning to a version of normalcy for everybody.
The safety of kids. These people are the danger to children, not COVID. But no one's asking the obvious question. What kinds of adults, what kinds of citizens are we creating with masks and social isolation? Ever heard a politician wonder about that? No. Instead, it's full speed ahead in the other direction. Damn the destruction it causes.